Hey ho, it's Joe, and today I am going to talk about the book series that I have never read. Alright, so the first book series I'm going to talk about is one book series that I feel like everybody across the whole entire world has read. I have never read it, and I probably never will. And yes, I am admitting this, it's the Harry Potter series. Harry Potter is just not one of those series I ever got into. I probably will never read it, and so no matter how hard anybody tries to try to convince me, if you troll me down in the comments, your comment would just be deleted. I will never, ever, ever read the Harry Potter series. Not my cup of tea. I watched the movies. Wasn't something I was into. Something I will never read. So don't even try. Oh, the next series I've never actually read all the way through. I have started it, but I read like the first 2 chapters and never finished it. And that's the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series. I have the first 3 books, and I've never actually read this series all the way through. I really want to. But basically, essentially, if you guys don't know what this series is about, it's a book that, or it's a series that follows 4 girls, I think it was. Like 4 girls, they were given these pants that, you know, they fit every single one of them perfectly. That's the only thing I know about it, because I've seen the movie, never actually read the series, definitely want to. So the next series I've never actually read all the way through. I started reading it. I feel like I'm going to get so much grief for this. I feel like everybody's going to yell and scream at me, but I'm going to admit it. I have never actually read, yes, that's right, I've never actually read the Immortal Instruments series. I received this, actually, I've always wanted to read it, and I've always wanted to, like, you know, gather one book at a time, then read it, but you guys are not familiar, I saw this on the Facebook marketplace for somebody local in my area when I was actually working on moving, and it was like for $20 for like the whole entire series. Most of them are paperback. The last one, which is the City of Heavenly Fire, was the only one that was in hardcover. So I gave the money to my husband. He went and picked these up. I think it was like $25 for the whole entire set, which was a great, phenomenal deal. So that's why I took advantage of it. But I never actually read it. I started reading it, but never actually got all the way through. I don't even remember how far I got into this one until I stopped reading, because I had other books I wanted to read, and it just wasn't something I wanted to read right now. So it's definitely one of those books that I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get through this series this year, but we'll see. Okay, so the next series that I feel like everybody else has read that I haven't, even my husband has actually read this series, and that's the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I own every single one because of Edward, and yeah, never actually read it all the way through. I started reading it, couldn't get into it at the time because it's just not something that I probably was in the mood for. But it's definitely a series that I have not read that I want to. So the next series that I have never read, and I feel like everybody I follow has read it, that is a Court of Thorn and Roses series, also by Sarah J. Maas. Edward is actually currently reading this. He's gotten pretty far into it. He hasn't really told me much about it. He hasn't told me if he likes it or not. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure if he's still reading it, he's actually enjoying it. He says that this also follows some of the same characters, I believe, from the Throne of Glass series. So I definitely feel like I should read the Throne of Glass series before I read this. What do you guys think? Should I read the Throne of Glass before I read this if you guys have already read this? Or can I just jump right into this? Because this is a series I seem more interested in than the Throne of Glass currently right now. So if I should read this, then Throne of Glass, or should I read Throne of Glass and then this? So go ahead and leave a comment below and let me know. Alright, so the next series that I want to read, haven't read, this was actually recommended to me quite a few years ago, and that is the Skinjacker trilogy. So there's 3 books into the series, and this is Everlost by Neal Shusterman, and I've read quite a bit about this book. I've read that it's a really good book. The series is great, is what I've heard. So it's definitely a series I want to read. Again, this was recommended to me by somebody in a bookstore. I was looking for a new book to read, and I came across this one. I read the first chapter, really liked it, but it was not something that I was into at that moment in time. So it's definitely one of those books I want to make sure I get read, and the whole entire series as well. Right, so the next series that I started but never finished, and I'm putting it on this list because I haven't finished it all the way through, so I'm considering it a series that I never actually read, and that is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. This is a series because you have The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and then you have The Girl Who Played with Fire, and then The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. So there's quite a few books into the series. I've seen the movie. Wasn't a fan of the movie, but a lot of my friends have always recommended this book to me, so I definitely want to get it read, check it out, see what it's all about. Next series that I have never read, that is, what is the name of this series? I don't know, but we're going to call it the Red Queen series. This is a book that I have picked up time and time again. Always wanted to read it. It always intrigued me. The way they talk about this book. I mean, it's got, I think, 4 to 5 stars on Goodreads, so it's a really good series. And starts here, and then I think I have the first 2 books into the series. So it's definitely, once I read through those 2, I'll get the 3rd one and see where it goes from there. And the last series that I have never read, I want to say is called the Fallen series, maybe? I don't even remember what the name of this series is. But this was a book that I received from a friend of mine who is no longer with us. He passed away recently, not too long ago. I was going to get rid of this, but I started looking at reviews and everything else on it, and I decided, well, no, I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm definitely going to check out this series. If I don't like it, then I will get rid of it. But this, and then there's another one to it. I think there's at least 2 more or 3 more to it. So there's this one, and then there's a second one, and then I believe there's a 3rd one. But I only own the first one, so we're going to go ahead and definitely read this and go from there, see if I like it. So that is my books I have not read, the series I have not read, and the only one that I don't plan to is the Harry Potter series. And again, I'm probably going to get ditched for that, but honestly, it's just not my thing. So go ahead, if you want to troll me there, go for it. I don't care. It's not something I'm going to read, unfortunately. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Don't forget to check out the links below, my Goodreads, my Instagram, everything else like that. And I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.